Hey, board gamers, BJ from Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo pot with another unboxing and overview. This time we're taking a look at a game sent to us by Arcane Wonders. It's called Mezen, and it's about northern craftworks in the River Mezen region of Siberia. It's a beautiful looking game. Let's get right to that table, see what's inside the box, and I'll give you a brief overview of how it plays. All right, we're looking at the box cover of Mezen. I think it's pronounced Mezen, although I've heard Hobby World, the original publisher, pronounce it a different way. So I'm going to go with Mezen. And it's got a rule book inside. It's a game for 2 to 5 players, right? Let's see. Let's say it on here. For 1 to 5 players, that's right, it does have a solo mode. It takes about 30 minutes. And I've seen people compare it to Candy Crush or any one of those type of games. So let's take a look. You'll notice that the colors are basically red, white, and black. And that's because in this region of Siberia, it's very, very cold, as you know. The climate is harsh. And they get their colors from clay, the red being the clay, and soot, and that's the black part. So when the ancient painters would paint, that's the colors that they would use. There were some cave paintings that had these symbols on them, and they've been carried through over the generations. All right, so we've got a rule book. I did glance at the rule book online to kind of get an idea of how it plays, and I'll be honest, the rule book was pretty simple. It seems to have been a translated one, so there was a couple of little syntax issues, but I'll be honest, what they did right is not only do they have a great components list with pictures and numbers, but they also put in, I mean, a ton of pictorial representations, how the turns and how the scoring is done. And in a game like this, if you do that, you're going to be great with me. And then at the end, you'll see 2 cool things. So not only did they give you examples of all the different gold cards, what they kind of mean with all the different symbols, and after a while, the symbology is something you'll pick up like a little language. But also, if you're interested in this, they've got the history of the Mezen painting from that River Mezen region, and also the kind of the historical meaning for the symbols. Very nice. That's a nice touch. I like when rulebooks do that. My friend Philip Millman did the one for Watergate, and I read through the whole thing. It was fantastic. All right, so let's get right to this. The rest of this, we've got a game board. It is single-sided, although on the back side it's got the little reindeer. Reindeer were very important in this region, and also the spruce trees and the fish. And they've got some other things, the fox and the hedgehog. As you can see, it's just a simple representation of of how you're going to score. So let's get right to the tiles. There's a ton of tiles in here. I think all total 125 different tiles. They pop up so easy. I'm not even pushing anything, and they're just popping out. There's 125, each with the different symbols, but also with different shapes on them. And there'll be enough for up to 5 players to play. So these are nice, thick, chunky. I mean, these are really nice tiles. The backside are dark. As you play this, you'll be removing tiles out, sort of like any one of those Candy Crush style games. Then you'll flip them over and you'll put them back into the slots. You can decide how to do that, but you really want to flip them back over because you'll score points for having the light ones at the end of the game on your board. All right, so as you can see, these pop out super easy. I'll finish popping them out off the screen. There are also some amulets, and the amulets are kind of the nugget in the game. This is what allows you either to switch up what's happening that round, or to make connections on your board, or even if there's tiles you don't want to flip over, you can use the amulets. So I don't think that the symbols matter, but wow, they pop out super easy. I've got a lot of work to do because there are 5 punch boards. That's a lot of cardboard to do, and we'll get all those done. You know, here's another nice touch that I like. I've seen tons of inserts, and it's the channel insert, and it's just a piece of cardboard that, you know, people throw away. I heard Jamie from the Secret Ball talk about how he always gets rid of them. But this one has artwork on it. It makes it tougher because it's actually functional. We'll put all the stuff in here, and it's got the artwork from the game. So nice touch. I do like that. We've got plenty of bags. I'll probably put together 5 player bags for the different player pieces. We've got the first player token. Oh, no, I saw this from the rule book. I didn't realize it was this nice. Big, huge reindeer as the active player token. And it is double-sided and screen printed. Oh, gorgeous. Scoring markers. And this is a great production. I wasn't expecting it based on this big red, white, and black cover. I wasn't expecting to be this nice. This is really nice. So the 5 different player scoring markers, all wooden and nicely done. And there's these tiles I was telling you about just popping out without me even trying. And even, is this an amulet, I guess? Yeah, one of the, no, 50-point scoring marker, okay. We'll have a few of those, I'm sure, for the different players somewhere on one of these player boards. And then the heart of the game will be these goal cards. Okay, so we're going to set up our board with all the tiles. And then on each turn, there are going to be goals that come out. So the goals are your you've seen things like this before. These are goals that are either in the form of shapes like this one, like if you have hedgehogs in these 5 areas of your board, you'll score 3 points for each hedgehog, right? You'll also have some that are, and there's a lot that focus on the middle of the board, which is a little tricky, but this one's looking for instance, all the foxes or all the roosters, whatever they're called. This is the horses. You're going to get 2 points for every horse you get in the center of the board. Then you have hedgehogs by themselves. So you're going to score points for all the spaces near the hedgehogs that doesn't have anything. I'm assuming that's what the X's are for. I haven't checked those out. And then I like this one too. This is tricky because it's got pairs. You're trying to have these a fox and a fish, or a chicken and a fox, or a fish and a hedgehog next to each other on the board. And then you've got, of course, the geometric lines where you've got things in a straight line or in orthogonally or vertical. So you've got a bunch of different things. The cool thing about this game is that you're going to see the goal for the round and you'll be working on it, but you also know the goal that's coming up. So a smart player is going to be making moves that will take the actions to score points this round, but also set up the plays for the next round. And the way it works is that the active player is going to look on the board of their 5x5 grid and say, I want to flip over the horses. And so everyone has to do that. Everyone has to flip over their horses in groups. You'll find the group that you want to really move over. You'll flip over all those. You can use these amulets to connect to distant groups that are next to each other, but not orthogonally adjacent. So you could actually connect all those together if you want to flip over a bigger group. Maybe that's what you need to do for your scoring. You can also give the active player an amulet and say, you know what, I'm going to do hedgehogs this round. So you're giving them a benefit and doing it that way. If there are ever times you don't want to score that round, maybe you don't have a great, maybe you don't really match up to the goal that round, you can just not score any points and get some amulets. So I think it's 2, but you can check the rule book to make sure on that. So as you can see, that's everything that comes in the box. I'll show you the back of the box because it gives you a nice representation of how this is going to be the scoring part, the goals, and then you've got that 5x5 grid. Already this player has flipped over a couple. But for instance, if you've got that goal where we're looking for things in the middle or things on the outside, I always like learning. I think teaching the game, the middle one helps out the most because it's more like those games we play. This one is looking for foxes in the middle. This player doesn't have any foxes in the middle, but they could try to move things around to set this up if this is a goal that is coming up. That's how you play Mezen. Kind of a big overview of Mezen. We're gonna try to get this either streamed or I got my good buddies, Scout Dads, coming up for a game day. This is the perfect kind of game that they're gonna want to play. So I am looking forward to that one. All right, that's everything you get in the box of Mezen with a high-level overview of how it plays. Can't wait to get this played. I want to thank our friends from Arcane Wonders who sent us this review copy. It is a co-publishing deal from Hobby World and Arcane Wonders, and it looks like one of those fun little puzzly games. Only takes about 30 minutes and plays up to 5. So that's a good play count. Until next time.
Laissez, bon temps rouler.